Yo, peace and love. Thank y'all for tuning in and chiming in to another episode of the Lord Business Visionary Elite Call and Radio Show. Well, this show is underneath the umbrella of Visionary Leader. We, in the mission of Visionary Leader, is to educate our people on economical understanding and also the holistic health, because they killing us with the food, and we got to understand and be better stewards of our money. At the program of Visionary Leaders in a little small, minute nutshell, family, but without further ado, the platform here is open for all, and we all inclusive. You know how they say all is well and all is one, so I mean, ain't no set tripping or nothing like that going on this platform, but we want to definitely get into healthy dialogue and conversation to ultimately better our people as a whole. Like we get back to that third flag, which is our skin. I am you and you are me. But without further ado, we want to introduce this topic. I want to bring my family in right here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, Brother Shawty Roy, you with me?
You know I'm here with you. Riding shotgun. You know I'm right here on the scene. You hear me?
Ready. What about Sister Michelle, man? You live with us, sister?
Yes, sir. Live and in action.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I like this program. Like, we definitely going to continue to keep building and being stewards of the message for our people. But without further ado, I mean, I ain't going to say I'm going to fall back, but I want to reserve my little service, so to speak. So, I mean, I want y'all to come in and introduce the topic, and we'll kind of get into the dialogue. You heard me?
Okay. Well, peace and love to the people, peace and love to the multitude. Today, we'll start the show off in the spirit of New Year's with our New Year's resolutions. So if you listeners want to weigh in on your New Year's resolutions, that's cool. Just announce yourself with peace and love and state your New Year's resolutions. We'll talk about our New Year's resolutions. Then we'll get into the topic of black buying power. The black buying power in our community. So I guess I'll start with my New Year's resolutions. For 2019, my New Year's resolution is to be more proactive. I think that I heard a brother say yesterday that procrastination leads to stagnation, and that is absolutely true. So for me, I like to be more proactive. Also, I want to stay more spiritually centered this year. Last year, in 2018, I was a little distracted off my spirituality. Even though I did what I maintained, but I could have been more spiritually centered, which that propels me in my physical ramifications. And also, I just want to stay more productive and get these goals accomplished, these long-term goals and these short-term goals that I want to accomplish for 2019. If I stay more productive, these goals will get done. What about you, Sister Cher?
Okay, those are good ones. Okay, so I'm not going to change mine, but it's tempting behind yours. My New Year's resolutions, I have two as well, is to keep myself in check at all times with self-assessments and basically doing a mental inventory often to keep up with my SMART goals and my plans and endeavors, and it's business-wise and spiritual-wise. So I'm already pretty family-oriented and goal-oriented, but I still just want to take it up to the next level. As time passes, we can lose track of the things that are important to us, because it's just like keeping up with the hustle and bustle of everyday life can make you forget the important things. You get by, and I don't want to do that. So I just hit a beautiful age of 21, and I just want to excel. Don't laugh. I'm 21.
21, huh?
Okay.
1988, huh? 21,
Whatever.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. He was like that, man. A lot of wheels that went on. But definitely, with myself though, like I wouldn't say I had a New Year resolution, but it more so with me, like my resolution would be to kind of get more focused on my mission. Like, so at one point, I was feeling like Jonah myself. Like I came into the wheels and the knowledge, like felt like I was supposed to be teaching or doing a lot more, but I was somewhere like in that battle of the beast, like in that well for the day, for the night, to the point it brought me back to the point I need to be at. So like my resolution is more so on the line of being more active, like instead of like how you said, like instead of procrastinating, definitely want to be more active in everything I'm doing and take it all the way 100. Definitely that's what I stand with resolution in. And I want to continue to work on my finance, work on my health, like for eating right, like get more help in my situation. I would tell them to get out there, these food that killing us and myself. So I mean that's a step stone working on my diet. But that's just where I stand with my resolution. And also, we just heard someone come to the line, though, like, definitely if y'all wanted to weigh in on y'all resolution, y'all working and open to...
Peace and love, brothers. Peace and love, brothers. Al-Hadi. Hi, C.
And sister.
Yeah, peace and love.
Go ahead, Hasty.
Dr. John. Talking about resolutions, I don't particularly prescribe to a New Year's resolution, but I do use it as even though it's not the quote unquote beginning of the year, so to speak, off of Roman calendar, so to speak, but not nature wise, but still off the calendar we go off. I use it as a reset. To use it I don't know, I guess for this year, not like I said, I don't necessarily prescribe the resolutions, but my thoughts or what my thought process for this new year is to continue work. How can I outdo what I've done before? Each day, it is, as I was listening to you talk about with health, with money, with being better with finances, about bettering oneself, just using each day as an opportunity to look and see what didn't I do the day before, what didn't I accomplish, and if I didn't accomplish something that day before, it gives me each day is a brand new day to go and jumpstart that. Or what I did do, what could I do better? I was in the workforce. I had a manager. I never really get along with this guy too much, but I will say, work-wise, he probably affected me the most. Because he would always tell me, he was, no matter what I did, I bust my behind. I'm making sure I'm trying to not necessarily outshine anybody else, but do my thing. And the man he will always go back and say, yeah, but what could you do better? So one day I just got kind of upset with that. Look, man, why you always ask me how can I do? I'm doing this. I produce numbers. Ain't nobody really touching me with what I'm doing. He said, I always tell that to you because no matter what you do, you can always take some time for reflection and say, what could I have done better? Even if you did a great job, if you sit back and look at something and say, okay, but you know what? If I would have did this, I would have did that, that could have propelled me further. And not to say to discredit anything you did before that, but to just give you a thought process going forward in the future. Okay, I know if you learn from the past and then also look at your past triumphs and your failures, and I ain't going to do nothing but help you for the future.
Truly. Anybody else want to weigh in on your resolution? Feel free.
You know what? I will say this, though, real quick. This is one thing that for this 2019, my resolution, if I were to pick one, is to think more like an attorney. And I say to think more like an attorney because any attorney worth their weight any attorney that learns and knows how to argue and defend and discredit where necessary parts of law, however, looks at both points of view. If I'm on one side of the law, I need to know both sides of the law. I need to know the person on the opposing side of whatever view I'm on, why they think a certain way. I don't have to agree with it, but if I'm not able to try to at least look at it from another point of view to either better my point of view or to see where my weaknesses are, on advance. So this year, my thought is to look at something I may totally disagree with, but try to come to some understanding why that person came to that point of view, to at least give me some better understanding, because a lot of things that happen nowadays are from miscommunication. A majority of things happen from miscommunication. I may think a certain thing, you may think a certain thing, and I'm stuck in that mode of thinking, and I think that ultimately that's the only thing that's right. But if I don't at least give it a shot and say, you know what, why they think that particular way, some type of empathy will have you get a better understanding of the person. Whether you get along with this person and you and this person mortal enemies or not, I still need to try to get some type of higher understanding.
Okay. Truly. Okay, let's get into the thick of things, y'all. Our main topic today is the black buying power and our views on success. Black buying power and our views on success. Sister Michelle, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I think the word power is the most significant part of that statement. The power comes from money nowadays, and having the money gives us a voice. It gives us control of our own communities. It gives us flourishing communities, and having black-owned can fix the economy. It can fix our understanding. We can have more of what we need and less reasons to go to the other man and get their business because we have our own, and our community can be built up off of that. When we're using other people's money, we can't do what we want with it. So we have to settle for a lot of things. So if we have our own money within our own communities, we can decide where we want things to go towards schools and, different forms of education and religious, everything that involves your community can be set up. Instead of it being liquor stores on every corner, you feel me?
Right.
If your money is involved in it, we can put a stop to that and build our communities up for the best.
Indeed, true.
Did you know that our black buying power in America is at $1.2 trillion every year, annually? And we make up the minority. We make up 14% of the population, but we are responsible for 50% of consuming. We make up 14% of the population, but we are responsible for 50% of all consumption in America. Now, we spend money when we don't even have a steady source of income. This is what we do in our community. Now, we've made hella progress in income growth. Capacity to spend with an increase in black wealth. And when people think about black buying power, they automatically equate that with black wealth. But black buying power and black wealth is two totally different things. Black buying power is not a measure of wealth, but our capacity as consumers. Wealth is measured, truly, wealth is not measured by income, but it's measured by your net worth, what you own minus your liabilities, meaning what we owe. You feel me? So this is why, or the primary reason why us as a community, we are stay in debt. You feel me? The national debt amongst minorities is staggering because we get these two concepts mixed up: black buying power versus actual wealth. You see what I'm saying? Now, just like the sister say, we got to have our own bread. We got to have our own bread to do what we want to do and invest in our own businesses, our own banks, our own farms, our own land. All these things which accumulates to real wealth, assets, and gains. What you think?
Yeah, peace and love. Infinite back with you. I was just hearing what you were saying, brother, and I definitely agree. Like also what the sister was saying too. I was doing I kind of always stayed on this topic because it always close to my heart as far as like us being more in control of our dollar. But on the flip, I ain't gonna say on the flip side, but on the alternative side, on the other token, like we gotta say we look at, okay, this how much money we accumulate or did with the black dollar going, but we also gotta, as a collector in general, like where's all that money going as far as this 7.2 trillion or the 1.2 trillion? I forgot the number. I might be. I went further and found out, like you said, we are consumer. We spend a lot of money on materialistic stuff. I mean, that can account for 50%, like within the whole 1.2 trillion. But also on a deeper token, I went deeper and found out that the black churches, they amount for like $580 million or how much money we spend a year within these black churches. I mean, we can say that. I mean, we can get in that conversation like that conversation kind of also ties in like what is the black church today doing for the black community or us in poverty-stricken America. If we going back into the buying power, if the majority or a third of that money in buying power is going into these churches, like what are they doing for the community? And looking at yeah, like also in closing, I want to say that like definitely, I want to say this too, like definitely we need to get organized, creating our own banks and stuff like that. But also on the flip token, it's like when we get in business as a black person, even though we might have our name, whether it be Sanford and Son or somebody, it's our name on the building, but we got to look where we getting the products and merchandise from. Like it ain't right. We gotta be industrial. Like we gotta control industry. Like as opposed to like getting like we just look at it like a lot of like when you ask somebody what they want to be when they grow up. I want to be a rapper. I want to be an artist. I want to be a designer as far as making clothes and stuff. But like we gotta take it deeper. Like get into making the fabrics. Like or like even with the music, like manufacturing. Like somewhere on Dr. Dre did Dre Beats. Like right. We gotta take it deeper on the technical side, because once we control industry, then we'll be able to set out. I mean, help our people make a profit. Because outside of that, if we relying on white people or other races to kind of fund, not necessarily fund, or if we going to the other races to get the wholesale product. And then we're going to get marginalized buying these products. Like, we get marginalized. So it's like, in a typical black business, you might see, like, just using an example, like you go to Bros and Bros grocery store, they might got a thing of bread for like $2 or $3, but you can go to Walmart and get that same loaf for $1. But it's like,
right.
They we get marginalized, so we got to find, like, we always talking about with the drug, we got to find a plug. Like, we got to find a plug on that level, too. But I just leave out with that, man. We got to get plugged in.
I definitely agree with you. I think one of the biggest problems that we face as a whole in all our communities, no matter where we at in America, and all our communities, us as a people, one of our biggest problems or our biggest enemies right now is we lack financial literacy. So they don't teach that in school. some of the circumstances and environments we come from, that dollar is used for survival. It's not thought about how to circulate that dollar for tomorrow, how I can turn this dollar to 2 to 3 to 4 to more.
Right.
You know, that's not what necessarily taught. So in this country, we are the American dream. And what I mean by that is the American dream, America is built on capitalism. That's all this country is well, not all, but that's one of the main key components of this country is capitalism. And that's what we are. They created the greatest consumer with what they have done to us, because all we want to do is have ourselves feel good, live right, try to erase our pain through material things. You got a brother that makes $100,000-$200,000 a year, you're gonna be able to tell that just by what he wears, what he drives. You take somebody else, not even necessarily somebody white necessarily, but someone of another culture, however, or another race, you may not see their wealth like that, because we are conditioned to, I gotta let somebody know I am somebody, especially as black men. We get so downtrodden, the world looks down upon us, that I gotta show you I'm somebody. Even if, and this is America, so if money is the key here, I gotta show you I'm somebody through somebody. But we don't learn how to circulate that dollar. I don't want to be quoted necessarily on a direct statistic, but I know this dollar circulates one time in the black community. Meaning we make money there, and that dollar leaves that community and goes elsewhere. We spend it somewhere else. The highest or the top of that spectrum would be the Jewish community, where the dollar circulates. Like I said, don't quote me, but I'm pretty close. Where I believe it's 14 times within that community, from business to business to business, transaction to transaction, before it leaves their community to go elsewhere. See, our money can come from our community, and then we spend it elsewhere. So even with a black business, oftentimes we may get it. And when you bring it up about, I like how you put that analogy, it's a analogy. You said we need to find a quote unquote a plug. That's the truth. But we getting it from somebody else. We're still getting marginalized. You know what I'm saying? We're still marginalized. We're not able to maximize those dollars with our community and reinvest back in our community because we're spending it elsewhere.
So basically what you're saying, we got to become the socket.
We got to. You have to. Once you learn how to, think about this. When you're in school, or when people go to school, or when you taught about money, we're not taught some of the basic things. That's one of the things I started doing with our program with y'all. Kids are not taught necessarily how to balance a checkbook, how to deal with savings and checking different accounts, or how to get CDs and stocks and bonds and those things. That's their language. And with our buying power, our buying power is one thing, but once we learn how to maximize that and also stop somebody with our dollars, we ain't got to holler and protest if something happened and go ahead and march down the street and tear something up. Spend no money. That's the only way you're gonna get Rome's attention. When you stop that, when you stop them from being in the black, when you cause it to be in the red, when that cash flow stops, then you get the world's attention from that point.
Truly. And that's what I was gonna go into, like the black buying power, it's not a measure of wealth, but our capacity as consumers. Now just let's think about that, our capacity as consumers, and this equates to what you just said. If our capacity as consumers is great to the manufacturer, we are his greatest asset. So if we as a body, or as a community, as a nation, as a whole, if we withhold our spending capacity from companies that are harmful and disrespectful and unfair to black consumers, and we intentionally direct our dollars toward companies, mainly our companies, our black-owned companies that are beneficial to the black communities and that value black consumers, then our spending power or our buying power will truly be relevant. It'll mean something, because
it then leads to wealth. Like you said,
it leads to wealth. Truly. It'll lead
we need
to
to
wealth.
utilize the programs that are already set up, that are public knowledge, but people don't know how to look for it, so they never utilize it. Like the
yes,
Chamber of Commerce,
yes,
and the loans that have funds set aside for African Americans or any minorities. These things are out there, but because we don't have our monies tied in, the school system is not educating on things like that. They teach you what? They teach you about shapes. Who needs shapes? We need to learn we need to teach these kids, rather, from an early point, how to balance checkbooks and how to direct deposit and have their account set up to where their check is automatically separated into their accounts, the emergency fund, the savings fund, the bills go here, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Things like that are more beneficial, and we can prosper more. But if people don't have the knowledge, like to know the different pathways that they can take to get the help that they need, then that's where it gets cut off there, because now it's like, okay, can you help me please? I need to know. And now it's almost too late. If you already have the knowledge, then you can already be building up, and our communities can thrive, and we can get Black Wall Street again. I believe that with everything that's in me, because they hated on that so much they had to massacre them and burn it all down. Like, no.
Truly.
No, so they're intimidated by that.
I think you're absolutely correct. Financial literacy and being able to create wealth, to spend less than what you make regardless of income, and use that difference to save and invest and earn interest and dividends and capital gain. We haven't been educated in how to use our dollars and how to make our dollars flip. And I think that if we focus on our youth, if we educate, if we educate our youth in these areas, because Whitney Houston said it the best, I believe that children are the future, teach them well and let them lead the way. So we train our...
Oh, my bad. I thought I was still on mute.
Yeah. We train our shorties. If we train our shorties in financial literacy, then we train and we design in our future, because we not like in the school system, in the educational institution. It teaches you how to be a laborer versus a manufacturer.
Yes. Yes, sir.
It teaches you how to be a laborer versus a CEO versus a real boss. You know what I'm saying? It's two different levels. Now, don't get me wrong. We need the laborers. We need the consumers. We need this and that. But we most definitely need more than just entertainers and things of that nature. We need the engineers and the scientists and the farmers, people that master agriculture, and the things that really build a nation and really build our net worth as a community.
It would seem that the mission is stagnation and control. If you have people set at a certain point that can't bypass you, then they can always tell you what to do. Yeah, you're making money. We'll allow you to make only so much money, though, with this amount of education or this amount of productivity. So, yeah, manual laborers can only make so much. But if you're at a desk and your job is white collar like them, then you're on the side by side.
Yeah,
and a lot of people say that they – go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead and finish your thoughts.
Because I was going to go off a little bit, so I'll let you go ahead.
Go on. Go on. We want to hear you.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say a lot of times people say, okay, I will support black-owned businesses, but where are they? There are no black-owned businesses, which is not true. It's about 8 million minority-owned businesses in the United States, and about 2.5 million are owned by African Americans. So, and if you don't know where the black-owned businesses are in your community, they have search engines set up specifically for that, like Support Black-Owned, SBO. That's one of them. There's several other ones, and they have it filtered out. So you can find those places specifically near you. So there's no excuse.
That's good information. Yes, that's very good information.
I was just going, we were speaking yesterday on the conference, I definitely about the concept. Like, we got to think like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. But I want to bring some history point to the conversation. Like, of course, we was in slavery and all that, but we got to look what happened over the time. Like, the North was industrious, the South was agriculture. But then, like, after that Iron Age or whatever, it was like everything kind of became industrial in the sense that the whole Union swallowed the whole agriculture of the South, and it became the agriculture side became outsourced. Like, a lot of the good vegetables, they coming from overseas, like whether it be Africa, like the agriculture got pushed outside. Like, even with the when we looking at the clothes. So, like, far as like on the business level, like even where we at in the present time, like that old brick and mortar system concept of business, where we look at like the whole CEO structure and all that, that's slowly but surely fading away. Cause we look at companies like Toys R Us, Kmart, and stuff like that. They're going out of business, family. Like, people are buying stuff online, like Amazon Prime. Like, it became like $1 billion industry, like $1 billion company. They don't really make shit, family. But it's like they the Walmart of the internet. But that man said, like, we gotta adapt to this time. Like, we gotta see 10 steps ahead. Like, I feel like in the next 5 years, solar panel energy gonna be where it's at on a technology level. Like, we definitely, as a race, gotta get more. We gotta start moving like in advance, because going back to what I was saying, like in that time, like the whole brick and mortar, like we scribe and else says I'm an entrepreneur, and I know my fellow co-hosts and sister I know y'all entrepreneurs as well. I know bro High C, you're an entrepreneur. Like, we probably everybody on the line is an entrepreneur, but just looking for the event, looking at like ideally, it's like a lot of us fall into that concept where we want to start a business, like create a whole business, like a head. Like, we got the CEO, we got the workers, and we got the employee. But this present time of business, like, everybody gonna end up wearing multiple hats. You might be your CEO, right, your employee, your marketing director in your own company. So it's like we going into a different time as far as business. The whole structure of business changing. But as far as like going back into us as a black culture, like, we gotta adapt with the changes. That's the only way. Like, right now, you look at what it talks like. With this, how they do it with us. They talk about the stuff, and then slowly but surely, we see that's gonna start implementing. Like, they were talking about like machine from the place, the McDonald's worker that would complain about making the minimum wage, by it being the $1 billion company. We slowly, surely seeing like a lot of these cell phone order machines, and slowly, which gonna take a lot of people out of commission, and a lot of warehouses are moving overseas. I seen that firsthand in my little small country town. Right. I seen that firsthand. A lot of these warehouses like M&M Mall, Cooper Tire, like, they employ like over 300 and 400 people. They moving overseas. Like, by our generation, by the time I'm 30, like, by the time we get in our 60s, it ain't gonna be no such thing as a social security income. It ain't gonna be no such thing as a retirement fund. Like, we still right now, like, our elder, they got a retirement check. They still gotta work up. It ain't enough to take care of their means of living. So we gotta we gotta look at all of that fact, and then with these high doctor bills, man, like, excuse my friend, like, a lot of our people, we be like one medical bill away from being broke. From like cancer treatment, like diabetes treatment, like a lot of that stuff, it get expensive, family. And just keeping it all the way at 100. A lot of us ain't got no proper health insurance, like, unless you got like a full-time job or something like that. A lot of us ain't fully insured. But our children gonna be insured, whether through health care or something like that, Medicaid. But a lot of us adults, we can't really afford to take care of ourselves in our community.
And guess what?
Getting deeper on that. Go ahead, Bobby.
On that note, what can we have? Okay. We got to use our black buying power to create black wealth so we can have black insurance companies. So we can have the the institutions that we create to support our people. That's called nation building. That's how we build a nation. We support ourselves. We support each other. We do for self. Wealth is not what you make, but wealth is what you keep. So our black buying power, by definition, it can't be wealth because you no longer have it after it's spent, because we are the $1.2 trillion that we have in black buying power. We exchange that all the time for goods and services. So basically that's saying that the $1.2 trillion we are worth in black buying power as consumers is spoken for. So it must become a cultural standard for us as a people to use our black buying power to create black wealth. And we do that by spending less than what we make, like the brother Hassi was saying. When a brother make 200 bands, you look at him, he all flash. When the other man make 200 bands, he don't want to look like he make 200 bands. He dressed down. When you see Bill Gates, he's got his old suit, white shirt and them khakis on. You know what I'm saying? But this man worth all the money ever. You feel me? Brother get a little piece of change.
I'm definitely with you on that, brother.
Yeah, brother and sister get a little piece of change. Go ahead, bro. Part one.
I mean, you look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett been driving the same car for 30 years. This man got enough money when he died. It'll take us 12 generations to get what this single man got. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think one of the things I think about that I think about, you got to not only identify the problem, but you got to identify the problem and try to find a solution. So I try to dig deeper to those things. One of the things that destroys us, especially our younger community, I say anywhere, 40, and down, or however, I will say this. Each generation from 40 on down, each of our grandparents, we all in America, saying, us brothers and sisters in America, we get caught up by this one word that can either make us great or a lot of times hold us back. The word cool. What we deem as cool, think about this. When I was coming up, if you were smart, you wasn't cool. You was a lame. You was a nerd. Get your goofy ass apart and self, what I'm saying? That's how they was, oh, man, this smart ass. Come on, man. Right. We got, he ain't cool. But the coolest dude, a lot of times, was not the guy that was either, he wasn't the brightest guy, but he might have been the quote coolest guy. He might have been slick at the mouth with the ladies, or however, or he dressed, So a lot of times what we deem, quote unquote, as cool holds us back from things. So we need to change that definition of what we define as being cool. And it's ever so important with the youth. Our generation now, I call the internet the beast, because it can be a great thing, but it also bring harmful things as well. But these kids are so smart and gifted at it. When we look at them like, oh, you just on the net. No, that tool right there single-handedly has the ability to change black wealth and black spending power. Not only through social media now, hip-hop used to be the voice for the voiceless. Now the internet is the voice for the voiceless. Unfortunately, there's a lot of voices we don't need to hear, but everybody got a voice nowadays. Taking that, and the power of the internet has built tens of thousands of millionaires and 100,000aires and beyond right now. Just by that. Just give a quick example. Music. Before, I used to do music years ago. I had a small little record label. I'm talking about we broke our backs. We trying to go across the country, book shows, do stuff. Right now, I could take a 17-year-old kid who could take them 4 or 5 years, and we was going hard in music, and I bet you he could beat my progress in 6 months just through social media and the internet right now. And probably be able to generate more income. So what we need to do right now, in my opinion, is closing on a little bit of a generational divide between the youth, those those in the late 20s, early 30s, 40s, bring all of us together, and then look to the youth and let them, just like our nation, Let them lead the way. Give them the tools, because our time not necessarily is over with, but there's so much. We're in a day and age now, there's so much we can learn from them. Give them the tools, and they in turn teach us everything with the net, their fresh ideas, their perspective, fresh new perspective of looking at things, because history can help you sometimes, but also a lot of times history can also hinder you because you stuck in this how it used to be. It ain't how it used to, that ain't how it is no more. It may not how it may turn back to.
Right.
But right now we have a chance to build up, like when we were talking about companies. A kid can create a company, not just a kid, but anybody can create a company right now online and not be a traditional business and get that going without having a bunch of traditional workers. And just like you said, Infinite, you get into a situation where you might have to wear 5 or 6 different hats. It's not the world is changing in an instance, but wearing those 5 or 6 different hats within that one company is going to get you a lot further doing those things than just sitting around waiting for somebody else to give you a check, or this is moving here, we getting a little bit going there. So it's ramped up more. We just have to concentrate on that more. But I think getting the youth more involved, getting a voice to them, and getting rid of changing your mind frame of what you think is quote unquote cool. Because a lot of stuff, like I said, we may not deem as cool, is what's productive, is what's going to get us somewhere. But it may not just be quote unquote cool to you or cool to the next person, but it's exactly what we need.
Okay.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I used to be called a bookworm in school, and I didn't care because the way that I speak has brought me far. So a lot of y'all, I ain't seen y'all doing too well. So anyway.
But you see what I'm saying?
That's the bullying.
You know what I'm saying? To take them to new levels, they're like, you a bookworm. All you going to do is read. Now, here we go years later, you looking at me like, man,
now I'm writing.
Where was you at?
Right.
Hey, some part about it. I was a nerd too, but the difference with me, I had on hand. Like I was still like I was in both worlds.
Oh, there ain't no difference. We on the same page. Don't let the barely difference of the soft boys fool you.
Right there with got these books and these hands. I'm saying, what you
I will beat you with this book too.
Oh Lord! All right. Pertaining to the topics, let's turn the tide a little bit. We spoke about the black buying power. Now let's speak about our views on success. What is you guys' view on success? Let's start with.
Can I? Go ahead, brother.
Yes, I was gonna say. I was gonna say, ladies first, brother.
My brother.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Queen.
So it is going to tie into some things like the cool subject. A lot of times things are, like, for example, you see more people throwing parties for people that are released from prison than you are seeing people that graduate from college. They don't get a party as often as those being released. And it's unfortunate. Now, you got a badge of honor because you went to prison, but you go to college just like, hey, high five, good job, you did that. You feel me? So a lot of the times I refer back to black thinking or stinking thinking because that's what needs to change. People need to rethink, like Infinite was saying earlier about adapting. It's kind of crazy that concept is even an issue because if we have any strength, it's adaptability. But it's on a level of surviving, not striving. We stuck in a thought process that we can't because our family didn't before us. We weren't born into riches, so, we just got to make it. But that's not the case. We can excel just like the rest of them no matter how we were brought into this world by changing the way that we think and being frugal with our spending and not trying to be flashy instead of pretending to look rich, actually be rich. You don't have to put on the front. All those J's added up is wealth. At the end of the day.
No doubt.
And unfortunately, it's a Michael Jordan and not you. So if you have a plan of action and maximize your earning potential and have multiple streams of income and create passive income where you can just sit back and calculate everything and make calculated moves on a regular basis and living frugal and owning your own enterprise and planning for long term with 401ks and savings and stocks and bonds, that calculated risk. People don't want to take risks because they're scared to lose money, but you'll go gamble and you'll spend money on something that's going to last for a few minutes. When you can use that money, instead of buying blunts and bottles, you can use that money and invest in somebody's stock and let the money back up.
Truly.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with you there, sister. Success is, man, I love this subject, right? Because you're right. It's what we deem. It's funny what we deem as being success, but it also depends on what mind state that you're at, what you may have either been exposed to or what you expose your mind to. Because you don't always have to be physically exposed to something. You know, reading opens up a whole new world. You know, you don't even have to travel, you know what I'm saying, more than 2 feet and be in a whole new world, you know, off reading. So when I was younger, what I may have deemed success is, buddy, they got a Cadillac. He got, you know, or he got a new Yukon. He got brands. He got, you know, he got a nice little apartment. I may have deemed that as success because that was more than I may have had or others I've known may have had, but that's not. That's what was cool. Going back to that word, that was what was cool. But later on in life, as I moved in different circles and networked with different people, started seeing what was success, not necessarily in my eyes, but maybe through other people's eyes, and got to looking and saying, damn, buddy over here got the nice chain. He got, you know, I know my man got a nice diamond Cuban link, but I know buddy over here, he got some boat shoes on, some he got one of them dad hats, you know, the little hat that's all, you know, all smashed up and everything. But this dude is worth over $500,000. You know, and his idea of success may be taking a family vacation, as opposed to we going to the club, we popping bottles, and that night we made it rain and all that. No, you know, so success is more, to me, is what you're able to do for others. I'm not gonna sit here in front and I say I don't like money. I've liked flashy things and all that, but to me, Allah be my witness. Money does not mean. Money is not the end all for me. What money means to me, as far as paper money, is what it's able to do for those that I care about. It's just trading commodities. That's all it is. You know, that's what the concept of money is. Period. So me being able to have something to get the goods, to help the people I need, to help them more, that's what success is for me. And I think that when we start changing our mind frame of what is success, if I'm able to get 5 or 6 people employed, that's better than me being able to say, man, I just got some new rims, you know what I'm saying? I just bought a Jag and I put rims on it. What's that successful? Somebody could take that could crash. I could die in that. Everything I strive for is to get them rims. I could be on the E-way, hit a pothole or something, smash it aside and die. What is success in that? But if I have a legacy, something to give more, if I help other people do that, they help, and they in turn help somebody else, that builds, now we're starting to build wealth. Now that's real success as far as we're able to measure those results, and those results they don't just stop with obtaining something and then trading for some other goods, and then that's the end of it. It's just a continuation of it.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I wanna not to kind of go in the same stuff. I want to touch on something that the sister would kind of lean on when she mentioned that statement with passive income. Like I know a lot of people that ain't educated in the finance. Going back to what the brother Hassi said, it's three types of income. Like you got earned income, which is like what you get from your 9 to 5 or whatever. If you self-employed, that's your job. The second one is like passive income. That's what the sister's talking about. You can get there by creating real estate, or if you got CDs or something where you got some type of residual income coming in. The third one is like cooperative income. Like that comes from like you investing in stocks, or if you got bonds, like something like you invested in a company where you getting like dividends coming in to your pockets or something. But going back into like success, like I feel like success in my own point of view, like I would like you too, how I see, like I ain't gonna necessarily on face value. I looked at like the rims and stuff and all that, and driving the night cars was successful. I just looked at like that person is being successful to be able to do that. But where I'm at right now is like I look at success and synonymous like with being able with wealth. Like, and so the wealthy thing is to me right now in the present time is having time. Like I feel like success equates to having time. Like I don't. Like, we shouldn't really, I mean, I know we got to work eventually so we can play later, but I feel like success for me, like, not having to work, not having to punch a clock, like, but still to be able to.
I love that. I love
that. Yeah, my bills still able to be paid.
The freedom.
Yeah, the financial freedom, like, financial freedom. That's what I see success at, man. Going back into those three, I just want to finish there, like, going back into those three income, like, a lot of people in society, like even with our youth, like our youth are our future, but they got a fucked up, excuse my French, perception of what success is. And just like going back what you said, big brother, and I'm turning it over after this to you, Royal, Royal, like when you were saying like with the brother, Bill Gates, like the brother don't dress up that short, but he once know he got money, but it's like without you, like we don't know like whether it come from the music and a lot of these artists ain't got money like they saying they got, but it just it confusing our people, our youth, and they thinking on their materialistic mindset. Well, they look at that as being success. Like I got on the $500 gym, and I whoop my own ass if I spend $500 on just one pair of jeans. Right. I'm turning over to you, bro. All right.
Yes, sir. I think that success is measured in a variety of different ways. You know, anybody that know me, they know that when I think about greatness and I think about success, I don't think about that it's measured just by or it's defined just by what you accomplish in life, but I also think that success and greatness is also measured by what we overcome in life as well. And I say that relating to this subject as overcoming financial illiteracy, you know, by understanding and overcoming the misconceptions about black buying power, you know, about overcoming the misconceptions about wealth in our community, being a manufacturer versus being a consumer, or being able to leverage our consumer power to create the wealth we need to propel us to the levels that we need to go individually and collectively as a whole. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I think success is measured in a variety of different ways. You can look the part, like Queen Michelle was saying, you can look the part, but are you actually that guy or that woman? And if you're not that guy or that woman, just looking the part is not enough. Now, don't get me wrong. We are kings and queens. We come from a legacy of royalty. So it's in our veins to want to shine. But what about the grind? You grind before you shine. You strive in order to thrive. You feel me? The shine is the result of the grind that we put in. We eat after we punch for our lunch. We out here fishing for our issue. We call that fish up after we get through fishing. You see what I'm saying? Then we feast. So I think that we need to reflect on our views of success and think about what really. Go ahead, sir.
I want to know what flashy Negro came up with the idea of making it rain in the club. That's one of the most financially irresponsible things in the world, but he keeps doing it all over. Like
true, and it became
he is a leader.
Hey, I was there in that era. That started with me. That was 12 days.
Hold on, you wanted a corporate to that?
No, hold on, bro. Hold on. Let me put this out here. Hold on.
No, you done already hung yourself. Hold on. Shell, what did he just say, Shell? What did he just say, Shell?
He said he was there. He was one of the people that started it.
It was completely irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you, it goes down to what we've been talking about, what the problem is right now. Take it right. From BMS. You got these brothers who created a conglomerate. Mm-hmm. You know, they took something negative and they really made a force with it. Enough that them people were like, hold on, y'all eating too good. But again, that goes back to what we all talking about here now about what we deem as success and even financial literacy. Like for real, that is the dumbest concept in the world. Yeah, well, had I been around it, yeah, but that is how you gonna sit here and take hard-earned, I don't care however you get it. You take some money, or you decide you're just going to throw money in the air. You don't see nobody else doing that but us. Nobody. Yeah. Now, you may have some people that say, oh, now, yeah, well, they're joking. I'm going to make it rain on Barbara. But they ain't doing that like us, you know, because we have to show the world. Black men have been so bent on trying to show the world we are somebody, especially financially, that we go through these extreme measures. Even down to our jewelry. We go get jewelry with Bart Simpson charms and all this and that. I spent what's the little guy? Some little rapper, Trippie Redd. This dude, I think he spent $125,000 on this chain that looked like not Dragon Ball Z, but Bowser from Mario Brothers. That has no resale value. The only thing they would do was melt that down, take whatever little stones, however. But that just goes to show how even men, when we do make money, they trick us. Because whatever jeweler made that, they made a killing off of it. And they know the resale value is garbage. But it is what we place value on. You know, it's crazy. But you know what also? And just so I'm not hogging the form, I'll end it right here with this. But I also think it also has a lot to one thing black people we shy away from. We don't talk about classism. Racism is one thing. We all deal with racism. But we also have classism issues within our people as well. If somebody's doing well, please pardon my friends, but they ain't shit because they doing well. Instead of, we have these two mentalities in our community. Those that look their nose down at us, who may be middle or upper class, and I made it, and forget the ghetto. I ain't on that. They can do for themselves. And then on the reverse side, we have our brothers and sisters who look their nose up at you. Well, you ain't shit because you got something. But, they don't make you nobody because you got it. We have to get rid of that and realize that both need each other. And both can uplift each other in some way. If somebody got a bunch of money, they're still missing. Nobody has every component, and nobody has every key. So you can teach that person one thing that money came by, and then you have money that can uplift that person. You know what I'm saying? With things that they have that they can't necessarily turn into money necessarily right then and there, but are valuable. So both can help each other. But it is a class issue because black wealth is out here. But we don't share that wealth. We don't spread that wealth. We look at it as that's them niggas over there. You know what I'm saying? And we got to kill that to come together to pool those resources and really make a difference.
I'm going to say this. The game is to be sold and not told. And when I say sold, I mean SOWED, not SOLD. You feel me? See, a lot of people think that when they say the game is to be sold, not told, they're speaking on selling game to each other. But that's not what I'm speaking of. That's a misconception. The true essence of that statement is that game, life, knowledge is like seeds. And a farmer, he sows his seeds in fertile soil. And that's the seed, that's the soil of the mind. You feel me? So,
you did. Brother, I'm stealing that. I'm telling you right now in front of witnesses, I'm stealing that.
So I say that to say this, that when it comes to success, whether it's financial success, spiritual success, being healthy, all these things put together, all equates to success. So let's strive to do our part, to do what we can do to sow the game. And that's what we're doing right now on this platform. Kudos to Lord Infinite, man, for having this platform that we ride shotgun with the brother on bi-weekly, because me and Queen Michelle, we was doing a live not too long ago. What was that? I think it was what was that, a couple of days before New Year's or New Year's one on. But anyway, it was a brother on the live, and he was speaking about that he made it and he's successful, And we both congratulated the brother. That's cool. But I posed the question to him. He said he made it over his obstacles and adversities, and he's successful now, But I posed the question to the brother. I say, okay, brother, that's good, and I congratulate that. But to me, when you make it, you have to reach your arm back down and help other people that was in the same condition that you was in to make it to the level that you on. And to me, that's success. That's being successful once you made it. You feel me? To help somebody else. And not to have the crab in the bucket mentality, like the sister said, that stinking thinking, Let's all help each other to get to where we're going.
Indeed. We down to the last 10 minutes of the show, man. We're going to go around for closing remarks. I don't know how y'all want to
my last remark, I will say this, that we are a puzzle. We really, we truly are. And once we get I'll just use this analogy. Once we get a puzzle mentality, everybody will realize that when you have a puzzle, no one piece makes that puzzle. And every piece is designed to fit along with another piece to make the whole picture. And no matter if you're a big piece or no matter if you're a small piece, that picture is not complete without every piece being a part. So whether that's the youth, that's young, that's old, however, every piece has to play a part. And when we can realize that, that's when we can stop saying, man, that's when we can stop that big I, little you, and realize, if I got a picture, but I only got half the picture, I look half good, but I will never be whole without all the other pieces.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I may not like the other pieces. The other piece shaped funny. It don't matter if that piece shaped funny, because all of them gonna make that picture together. And when the public sees that picture, all they gonna do is see that total picture. They're not gonna look at your part and say, "Well, man, I see part. I like that one. It was shaped kind of triangular." No, they don't see that. They see the big picture, and your piece goes away. Your piece becomes one, becomes autonomous, becomes one.
Right.
So my closing, that's what I look forward to 2019. Us putting that when you were a little kid, when you finally put that one little piece back in that puzzle, and it all go together, and you sit there, cross your arms, and look at it, and say, "Yeah, that's it." That's what I'm looking forward to this year. Everybody cross their arms and say, "Yeah, that's it."
Yes,
that's it.
I will close with my closing remarks by saying that black buying power does not equate to your wealth, but let's use our black buying power to create real wealth amongst our community, and let our success be measured by true success and not a false idea of success. Let's all play our part. Let's do what we have to do individually to make an impact amongst our community collectively. So for the 2019, man, everybody just do your part. Play your role, man. Do your part. And it's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference. I'll close with that.
Indeed.
Okay. And I think that black people need to start recognizing their worth and appreciating the ability to lead by utilizing it for the right things and not the wrong things. Cultivating a money mindset to the point where changing your whole philosophy on what making money is, keeping money is, what it means to you. Your philosophy should be long-term, not short-term. And if you do that, just rethink and do a self-assessment on how much money you made last year, how much money you spent last year on frivolous BS, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And invest in yourself with that money instead into building you a future and a legacy so that you don't have to continue the cycle of being born into a struggle for your children.
True.
In closing for me, I'm going to say this before I say my full closing statement. I mean, a lot of the game that was sold on these line at night, I mean, oh, y'all forgive me if y'all see this on my Facebook status or something like that. I mean, it's just borrowing. I might do a works cited paid like they do in English class or something like that. So
right.
I'm definitely going to expand a little bit. All right, closing as far as like with the topic though, like definitely appreciate the conversation like from my end and hearing what each one of you guys said and brought to the table. I mean, definitely like that's what these lines for. Like we got to build these. It really is a think tank. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we all getting tools to better our own individual life. And right now, in my life, I'm working with coaches and stuff. Like I'm getting better my financial situation, learning about budgeting. Like we all like with budgeting, we tend to just focus like leaning on ourselves. Like when it comes to finance, like we try to keep that personal and private. But man, we really need help. Like we got to get out of that pride and comfort zone. We can't be scared or too prideful to ask for help or too prideful to receive that help. It's kind of like that Bible. I don't know if it came out of the Bible, but it's like that story where they say that man was stranded on a boat. He prayed to God to send him help. Like it was three different people came in three different scenarios, and he turned it down. Like I'm still waiting on God. Yeah, God answering like, man, I sent your dumb ass 3 people. We gotta accept the help when it comes. Like we don't know where it's gonna come from. It gonna come around a bit. Definitely. You need conversation, man. We all getting help. Like it's a lot of. We can't just rely on YouTube, social media. I'm definitely all for what you were saying. How I see, like, definitely gotta connect with the youth. Like utilize their insight on. They being bred like BRED like into this society, new technical world. Like a lot of already went out of school. Like we already graduating and stuff. And
right.
That's hard to say the stuff they learning right now. Shit, it's like they learning 20 years down the line. Then they done became so advanced. Like we look at technology like. Right now, it look like we can just think the phone or the cellular smartphone been out. In our mind, we look at it like it been out like 20 years. But really, we just do the number. This shit came out like when when I was in high school, like 2007. Yeah. Like it was like 2010 when they just came out with the smartphone. We talking about 10 years down the line. Hard to say what in the next 20 years gonna bring. Like I'm still waiting on the flying car though, Bill.
I'm waiting on the Jetsons, you dig?
Can't make excuses. We just gotta adapt.
Indeed, definitely right, man. But that my closing. I don't know. I know we had some extra callers in the line. I don't know if y'all wanted to add on to the closing, like the one that called in that ain't speak. Like you can, they come on in and speak if y'all would like to speak. Outside of that, like. We'll get ready to close that thing out. You know how we always do it every week. We'll leave that space. We'll wait about a minute or two for somebody to come in and speak if they wanted to.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
A moment of silence from my homeboy Soldier Slim. But
I really enjoy the energy of the show, you know.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, Yes, they ain't I guess they ain't come forward, but that from that man said, man, y'all already know how we close that thing out every week, man. Come on, shout the road, you know.
Yes, sir. Peace and love. We appreciate everybody for listening in. We're gonna close this thing with the Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen.
Man, but you turn no toes up every week, man. Oh,